I am prepared. I am professional. I am purposeful. I am prepared. So Jermey, he's from Fort Valley, Georgia, and he has a podcast called the It Factor Podcast. It's really dope because what he does is he gets NBA professional athletes from all walks of life just to come and talk to him on his podcast. He reaches out to them, he gets people to tag them, things of that nature, and they always respond, right? And I don't know how this brother does it. I'm not sure if it's black magic, if it's favor from God. I don't know what it is. But I watched this interview that he did with Chris Paul. I'm like, man, we got to get this guy at Morehouse. He's CAU's very own. Give him a round of applause. So he was at CAU when I was at Morehouse, but he's gone on to do some incredible things. So I just want to ask him a few questions. And as I ask those questions, I want you guys to generate some of your own questions. Again, for those of you who are looking for those participation points, asking thoughtful and insightful questions is going to get you those points, right? But you have someone who's doing something that many people want to do, right? He's connecting with celebrities. Celebrities are connecting with him. Celebrities are trying to get on his podcast. He may not be Shannon Sharp, but he's talking to people who Shannon Sharp is talking to.
Trying to get Uncle.
Huh?
About
to get Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? So you got people right here in your midst who are connected to people and doing things that you want to do, right? And so no greater honor and pleasure than to have you today, Jermey, to talk a little bit with us. But the first question I want to ask you is, what inspired you to do the podcast, and what has been the most rewarding part about the podcast?
Yeah, so back in 2019, I started the podcast, and like literally before that, I was trying to do it while I was at Clark Atlanta. I studied computer science and computer engineering, and like literally, I was struggling in courses. Like y'all said today, got a bad grade or two, and I was like trying to look for people that look like me that teach computer science. I never found nobody. I'm like, over years passed, I passed that class, I graduated. It's like God came to me and was like, hey, you still ain't did what you said you was gonna do. I literally prayed, like, you get me through this class, I'm gonna do something to give back. And it started as saying it was gonna be a TV show or something to give back. And literally I did that. I brought on people in tech, and I had a conversation with my mom and my now wife, and they was both like, look, you should do this, but don't just interview people that's in tech. They don't just look like you, interview everybody. So I started reaching out to people, and don't get me wrong, I got discouraged because people want to hit me back and stuff like that. But over time, it did get to where people would hit me back. Even to this day, now people reach out to me, and it's like, dang, great, that's crazy. And I realized it wasn't just me, you know, and literally, after all that happened, what keeps me going is I just love to see people's stories, like y'all said. Any of y'all can come on the show, speak about what y'all doing, and it's crazy. People gonna come back a year or in a month's time and say, dang, man, they ain't even doing it no more, I'm doing even better. I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, so it's so beautiful to see all the amazing people, from the celebrities to the common day working people, that I'm able to be blessed to interview. So definitely.
Yeah, absolutely, no, absolutely. Give him a round of applause, man. That's really good. Save questions for the end, okay, y'all? So if you have a question, you can write it down on your phone, or write it down so you can ask him at the end, because he does have a lot of wisdom and knowledge that he wants to share. But let me ask you this question. So how do you, and again, I kind of hinted to this earlier, how are you getting these people to commit? Right, like you get in like WNBA stars and right, like not just sports, everyday people to come on your podcast. So this is a two-part question. How do you get famous people to commit to this, thing that you want to, do with them, this podcast? And then also, how do you make them comfortable to share their story? Because some of them are probably like, I'll talk about this, but I won't talk about that, right? Or they have to be cognizant about what it is that they do share. Like, how do you, feel about that?
So I don't believe in throwing people under the bus or putting legs on the table. Like, if it's something you got to talk about, we ain't even got to talk about that. Yep. So I literally send out like a message board, and it's genuine conversation. So like I'll say, hey, these are the questions, but it may get off topic. Nobody cares about the topic. We care about you getting out what you trying to talk about. People in the crowd on the show open up about stuff they never talked about. Like I had Ryan Clark on. It was the first time he ever spoke about, something that happened to him when he was having a game in Denver, and it was a life or death situation. And he was like, afterwards, he was like, man, this is my first time opening up to you. And I was telling my boys when we was editing, I was like, damn, we got an NFL star that's an analyst now, that's now the biggest podcast in the world. But before all that, he came on my show, man. That mean a lot. So I say the biggest thing is you get people comfortable in knowing the work that you do. So they see that they can go back and look at other episodes I did and say, dang, you brought a common day working person, you brought a teacher on, they had this type of conversation. Oh, I want to see how we gonna have a conversation. So the work speaks for itself now. Versus when I started, I had to kind of, I got to do this to do the lead work. But the biggest thing was most of the people I brought on, they friends and family. And then the famous people, I treat them the same way. I'll reach out to them or send an email when it's a birthday or anything. I'll make sure I follow up with people. The biggest thing I would say, even what he was saying with y'all earlier, is you have to make sure you follow up with people because this is the biggest time you're gonna have excuses.
Yes, sir.
I don't have excuses now. I'm a data analyst of Spelman College. I used to work for General Motors. I still balance and be able to be a husband. And I'm also a podcaster where I podcast three or four times out the week. So that's a lot, right? Mm-hmm. So coming to class or going to practice or going to eat, how hard is that to study for a test?
Wow.
I had to do it. You can do it.
Wow.
I done went and got another degree. It's all type of stuff I done did. Like, so you guys could do it. So hearing y'all before that, that's the same thing happened to me. Thank God that y'all in the AUC because no one's getting a conversation like that at any other university or college. Just gonna keep it real with you. But as far as on the show, I be able to keep it real with certain conversations like that because that's something that black men and black women people need in these days and time. You see how these things are changing. Nobody wants you to go to school. No one wants you to be educated. No one wants to pay for you to go there. You know the scholarships I had at Clark Atlanta? I wouldn't even be in school right now because I decided to stop playing football because I could make that decision. So I made the decision and said, I don't want to play football no more because I had academic scholarships. I can no longer get those scholarships because I'm black. Wow. So it's stuff like that I now love to speak about so that I can give people an opportunity to speak about the things they're going through.
Wow.
So
can y'all give them a round of applause right there? So I want to follow up on those lines. Mind you, left the AUC, worked for General Motors, right? Podcast regularly, is a married man, right? Tons of responsibility. But I want to just hone in on your new job as, the data manager over at Spelman. Like, talk to me a little bit about how you feel about that position and how you feel about, being back in the AUC and kind of working in this community.
Yeah, and I thank God to be back in the AUC, man. Like, this is something I always worked to be for, man. Like, before I wanted to become a professor or before I wanted to be an engineer, I literally was like, let me see how I can get back on campus. So I thank God for being able to even come back to interview for that position because a lot of people think I had a Boeing scholarship. I'm gonna go work for Boeing. I don't work for NASA. I don't work for GE. And I don't work for General Motors. Like, I could go do this, man. Like, I had a chance to go work for the FBI. And those are big names. They are amazing. Right. But to be very honest with you, I faced so much racism. I faced so much misunderstanding. But being a man at Clark Atlanta University and graduating from there, helped me to be like, dang, this is the last time I'm going to be able to see black people succeed at a high rate. So, like, literally, now to be back at Spelman, it's simple. It's simple to help those young ladies. Like, when it comes to their data and stuff like that, man, we the reason why they number one. We the reason why they keep the numbers up. The reason why they keep growing. And the same with y'all. Like, we able to help with y'all, help with Clark Atlanta. Like, that's amazing. But, like, I would have never thought I would be back. When I was in school, I didn't even know those jobs existed. I just thought you had to go work at Boeing or you had to go work at GM. So I learned that the name doesn't mean anything. It's great to make six figures. It's great to make money. But to be very honest with you, you gonna make money. What about what your impact is you giving? I get more impact now. Impact is more important than the money. My son, my daughter, whoever kids I have in the future are gonna see daddy went out and made it happen and made an impact. These people love daddy. That's what matters. I don't care about the money. You're gonna be taken care of. Ooh, you know that. So definitely, man, I would love to be back at Spelman, man. And I might be there for a while because it ain't no reason. What would let me leave and go? No, no.
Along those lines, man, working at Morehouse, this is the best job I've ever worked since I graduated. I was the state director of parent services in this state for the largest early childhood contractor, right? I've worked at the Urban League of Greater Atlanta. This is the best job I have literally, I started teaching when I was probably like 25. I'll be teaching till like I'm 70 type thing. Like, there's no place like this in the world, but you don't realize till you get out there and you're like, oh my God.
I do not want to do this.
This is not it. No, this is not it. Okay, so talk to me a little bit about your Clark Atlanta University experience, right? I think the AUC is so much different now than it was back then. Talk to me a little bit about your experience, how it shaped you as a person, and how it shaped the podcast and your professional career.
So, like, literally, while I was at Clark Atlanta, it was amazing because, like I said, I was an athlete growing up, family that played in the league and stuff like that. So that's how I thought my life was going to go. But coming here to Clark, I was like, I am not playing for the sorry team, not doing it, woo, cool. But once I got into school, that was my first time really being a student. Like, okay, I got good grades, but like, how do I maintain it? Because growing up in Fort Valley, Georgia, I feel like the school system is very different. But getting here to Clark, man, it kind of changed my mind on, I can do this. You know, it's not that hard. Once I got class set down, I noticed that it was easy for me to talk to people and meet people. Need to be people in a like simple situation, people I've never met. Like when I go to Georgia Tech or we'll do collaborative projects, they'd be like, dang man, you always bringing people together. Like, how do you do that? So as time went, I never used it, never thought about it. And as time went, once I got ready to create a podcast, I was like, I had already been doing this. I already had been bringing people together. Friends, family, people like that, just to have a normal conversation. And I would say that at Clark, man, becoming a man of Phi Beta Sigma, that was amazing because I have family that have been Phi Beta Sigmas. I say that's the greatest fraternity because of the things that I'm able to do within it. Just even bringing people on. When we have conversations, man, it feels like it was just yesterday we was together. So those type of things. And it was the best time of my life at Clark because you see men and women just like yourself going to school every day. Like that's the last time you're gonna be able to see that. And I ain't understand it then. Like when y'all don't understand it. Like you like, all right, cool. You don't get nobody to like chew you out, but it really like somebody care about you until you leave and you be like, man, these folks really do not care about me. So I say Clark Atlanta University was the greatest.
Wow. No, that's so powerful. And I remember for me, and this for those of you who are discerning Greek life, the organization don't make you, you make the organization.
Indeed.
So I remember when I was, a sophomore, like there was this notion like, oh, the Sigmas were lame. But my freshman year, they won chapter year, they had chapter president year, they did that's when Quill and Russ and all those people was on the yard. It's like, yo, like, I want to be like them, you know what I'm saying? And so, but there was this notion like, oh, the Sigmas are lame. So I was like, bro, I ain't pledging I was like, I ain't pledging Phi Beta Sigma. Then I found myself, pledging Phi Beta Sigma. So talk to me a little bit about community and the networks that you build in college. Mm-hmm. And then for the sake of our class, the brotherhood aspect, right? Because it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you and what they know you for. So can we talk a little bit about community building and just like building a strong network?
Yeah, so like in the first weeks of me being at Clark, I met my best friend, which is Ricky Jenkins. He's been one of my men at my wedding, man. Like we just best friends. But it's about to blow y'all mind. He's been editing the Hit Factor podcast since 2019, haven't stopped. Anything that y'all see, any video, he has touched it or gave his words on it, and he's the reason why I'm able to do what I do. So that's the connection we made in 2 weeks at Clark. And like, I think that a lot of people, when you get to college, you think you're gonna, like he was saying about elevated friends, you're gonna get the people that you work with, they gonna support you, do something, and see how impactful it is, and you'll see how many people walk away. They're like, man, that's too positive, I don't wanna be a part of that. Mm-hmm. So I found real brothers and friends. Like I even say my wife, like I met her years before I was dating her. And time went on and we got together and it was like, dang, that's the best person I ever met. Like I wish I met you earlier. Like I ain't have to talk to nobody. So building a community with people I learned in college, man. I wouldn't say in high school. Really when I got to college was seeing people, when you go through stuff, man. Like I lost my uncle, I lost friends, I lost family, different people that I never thought you would lose, right? They died and like people were different that I just had met. So it's different things I was able to do to this day. I still can call them, get on the phone. Just like that, I can make a phone call, hey man, how y'all doing? And those same connections, how I get in touch with some of these famous people. Oh, y'all work with so-and-so? That same guy I'm talking about, my guy Ricky, works for ESPN. So I'm like, hey man, you know so-and-so? Hey look, you ever run into him, do this? And I thought it wasn't gonna work until you try it. And then it works. Or and then people see your work, they're like, wait a minute, he already did this. Let me go ahead and make this happen. Or even from the sense of, I was telling y'all when we started with Shannon Sharp, I never tell any lies, man, when it comes to podcasts and anything like that, because I met the man on the day I was looking for jobs. Like I'm like, all right, cool, I gotta get another job, and going through a lot, got laid off, trying to look for it, and literally my big bro called me and was like, hey man, I found a job for you at Spelman College. I'm like, look, I'm on the way to meet Shannon, but I'm gonna go do this. And it's the way of saying, oh, okay, go do that, but call me back. Called him back, man, got my job that next week, met up with Shannon and his team, talked to them, got a photo with him and said, hey, look, one of these days I'm gonna interview you, whoop whoop. Wait for that to happen, but in the midst of that, I was still blessed with a job, like a full-time job, while I was looking for it, all off the strength of brotherhood. So the biggest thing is, I would say this to you too, and to all y'all. Yeah. When it comes to Greek life and the different things y'all are seeing now, man, I'm gonna be very honest with you. Like he said, it's what you make it.
Facts.
It's not all this, it goes do this, or dang, I can't believe they're doing it, or pledging this way, or doing this on so. Man, to be very honest with you, I'm thankful I went through what I went through because I had brothers that are really there, that really care for me, that we really do stuff together. That if I needed a job, I need somewhere to stay, I can call them, I got it. And that's what really matters. Not no scrolling, none of the stuff that y'all see that is promoted, that is promotion. That doesn't matter. So I think that it's miscued in a way when it comes to Greek life versus what it was in 2017. I just wanted to be a part of something. But I already was Jermey. I didn't need that to make me. I think that a lot of people look at it wrong. So I would say that's true brotherhood, that's true community, and that's how I'm able to reach out to people. My name good.
Yeah.
Like I can literally, hey, let me go reach out to so-and-so, or dang, they see I'm doing a good thing. I think that the biggest thing is I promote so much positivity that so many people are like, look, I want to work with him. Let me see what I can do to work with him. So that's my biggest thing, man.
Wow. Can y'all clap for him right there? The Bible says a good name is better than silver or gold. And so again, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know, who knows you and what you know and what they know you for. And again, when it comes to building community, right? Morehouse ain't gonna make you this big thing. You will be Morehouse's representative when you graduate. How many of you know somebody on the yard right now? They're the empty briefcase. They talk, but they don't really represent Morehouse. Raise your hand. Okay, like 5 people. So everyone that y'all met has measured up to Morehouse's standard.
No, we just not selling for it.
Oh, okay. Well, I was about to say, right? Because I know when I was here, you got people they walking around the street and they, right? But then when push comes to shove, everyone got their cap and gown, and not that people don't, things happen, right? Life happens. But everyone got their cap and gown on, and that same person was like this. Right? When it comes time to cross that grass, it's right, like a block. So I want to make sure that you remember, just because you have Morehouse don't mean that you fine. It's what you do with the Morehouse degree that makes you fine, okay? Let's talk a little bit about computer science. A lot of black men are not in tech, but we know that tech is about to take so many jobs. It's already taken over. At University of Pennsylvania, we just launched the first degree in artificial intelligence, which I'm super excited about. Even though Donald Trump sued us, it's fine. We got good attorneys. But what sparked you to want to pursue a career in computer science and tech?
Yeah, so in high school, I was in the STEM program, and I went to Auburn University. And going there, I saw somebody that was black. I was like, it's always big for me to see somebody that's black, especially being from a small town. You don't see that many people. When you have, what is it called, career day, anything like that, you don't see nobody get up there and say, I'm an engineer, or this is what I do. And if they do, you don't know what they do because they white. You're like, I ain't even talking to that dude. He was white. All right, cool. So I went to Auburn, I saw a black dude, he was in engineering, he told me what he was doing. I was like, I'm going to college to do that. I ain't need to know what he was doing, I ain't need to know the money. Then I started researching. I was like, they make some good money. You ain't got to do much. And when I got to college, it got real. I was like, you got to write code. You got to speak another language. This computer speaking another language. My professor speaking another language. And I'm at Clark. I'm like, why ain't everybody black? So that was one thing that stayed in the back of my mind when I got to college. But computer science really stayed with me because literally, man, to be very honest, when it comes to tech, I saw myself and I knew where it was going in the future. And I was like, look, I'm going to go ahead and do this because it's going to pay off in the end. And that's literally what it did, man. I think that tech is the greatest thing ever. I'm literally going to a conference about AI this weekend to speak on some of the things I do at work already with AI. I'm teaching my boss that's been in tech for years, like, hey, this is how Power BI work, this is how so-and-so work, because I was able to do it at Clark University. And went on to GM and worked with it, so I know how it works. The biggest thing I learned is, and a lot of you all, no matter what you major in, you're going to end up working in some capacity with tech in a big way because it controls everything now. But I wouldn't say be afraid of it, just jump into it. Especially black people, this is our first time to be able to be ahead of this curve. So I would say jump into it. Because even with us going, it's a million colleges and universities that's PWIs and white schools, I would say. But it's a lot of us HBCUs that's gonna be there. That are gonna be able to get that information that gonna be able to bring back to y'all. Right. Definitely love computer science, man. I would not change that major for the world.
Can someone grab it real quick, bro? And we know for a fact that HBCUs are evolving. I don't know if you guys saw that Howard University just reached tier R1 status for Carnegie Mellon. So in other words, that makes you a top research institution. If you're an R1 institution, that means most of the United States research comes out